Welcome to the Safe Schools Against Violence in Education, or S.A.V.E. training workshop. This is a 2-hour workshop, and you are watching and listening to the asynchronous version. Certification. You will not receive a certificate while taking this training in a synchronous or even an asynchronous platforms through Canvas. You, however, will be getting a grade in your Teach account after you graduate from Touro University. And most importantly, this will appear in your transcript at Touro as soon as the instructor or trainer grades your work. Violence. What is violence? Is it new to Americans? And do these create violence in America? And the things below are guns, divorce, unemployment, poverty, diversity, video games, music, and sports. Do other countries have the same issues that are less violent? Why? These are things that we can ponder as we go through this training. Project S.A.V.E. At the close of 2000, legislation in New York State passed a bill also known as S.A.V.E. S.A.V.E. addresses many important issues in education, and the following components must be included in each New York State school district to comply with this bill. This bill also includes not only New York State public schools, and charter schools. School safety plan number 1. We'll be going over several numbers all the way through this part of our presentation, and we're starting with 1, which is the school safety plan. Every district in New York State must develop a comprehensive district-wide plan of safety. It must include the policies and procedures for responding to threats and acts of violence. Prevention and intervention strategies are addressed, and the umbrella of all safety plans. The policies and procedures include the annual training for all staffs and students. This is the training that you are currently doing now. Hall monitors and other school safety personnel, improving communication among students and students as well as staff, responding to bomb threats, hostages, intruders, and kidnaps, early detection, building safety, contacting law enforcement and parents, prevention, intervention, violence, and any and all threats. Number 2, building level emergency response plan. This includes the policies and procedures for safe education in transport and sheltering. The plan must include procedures for safe evacuation, floor plans, blueprints, and roadmaps, conduct drills to test the plan, and secure restricting access to schools. Code of conduct number 3. Each school must have a code of conduct to maintain the order of dress and language, security, removal from the classroom, discipline, detention, and suspension policies, procedures for contacting parents and law enforcement, and suspension periods for disruption and violent individuals. This is all about communication and fluidity of information sent to all parties involved in a New York State public school as well as a charter school. Disruptive and violent. Violent versus disruptive. Violent consists of commitments or commits an act of violence on a teacher, employee, or student, has displayed threats of uses of guns, knives, or dangerous weapons, destroys property of school, teacher, or fellow students or scholars. Disruptive is substantially disruptive in the education process and interferes with or interferes with the teacher's authority over the classroom. These are two different things, but meet. Number 4, teacher and principal authority. Removal processes. This is indicated in your module as well as the paperwork, but the teacher refers to the administration for all processing of paperwork. The principal can suspend student from the school, and this allows teachers and principals to remove disruptive and violent students or scholars in the classroom that's not consistent with a code of conduct. Number 5, violent incident reporting. Schools must report annually to New York State Commissioner of Education the number of violent incidences, the type of violences, this is all in writing, number of suspensions, locations, weapons, threats, actions taken by the school, the ages, and the grades. Just like the Dignity for All Students Act, annually, these reports are sent to New York State Department of Education in Albany, New York. Character education. School must teach civility, citizenship, and character education in grades K to 12. Things like honesty, tolerance, acceptance, responsibility, respect, law and rules, courtesy, dignity, and other positive traits. 7, health curriculum. The New York State Education Board of Regents must review the health curriculum to ensure that students or scholars have sufficient time and instruction to develop these skills to address the issues of violence prevention and mental health. 8, violence prevention education. The New York State Commissioner must develop and distribute violence prevention packages to schools, public and charter schools in New York State for use of health and related areas. 9, violence prevention training. Like this, asynchronous or synchronized training, every year there must be superintendent's conference day to address and review violence prevention education. All individuals get certified as a teacher, coach, or employee must complete this 2-hour violence prevention training. Whistleblowing protection. An employee in the New York State Education public or charter schools may not be disciplined or fired for reporting any incident that they are as they are protected from this any civil liability. Fingerprinting, like you did in Court Street at Touro University to do your student teaching and your field experience. This may cost around $100 and can be performed in places like BOCES, district offices, or police stations. And in New York City's case, it's Court Street in Brooklyn. All schools employees must be fingerprinted for criminal history and background checks. Number 12, assault on teachers. This is a Class D felony. The sentence for Class D felonies offenses is determined by the court and will not be less than 2 years or more for 7 years. The maximum sentence for felony offenses can be enhanced by any crime or violent nature, or one with aggravated circumstances and reduced circumstances. Number 13, child abuse reporting. All schools, districts, employees, and SUNY students are mandated reporters. You saw the mandated report chart in all of your trainings, asynchronous and synchronized in DAZA, in child abuse, in autism, as well as this S.A.V.E. training. This also defines child abuse and requires immediate reporting for reasonable cause to suspect or abuse of neglect has occurred. This can be found on NYS mandatedreporter.org. Number 14, prohibited silent resignation. School districts cannot allow a person to resign rather than disclose allegations of child abuse and violence. This is punishable by the Class E felony up to 4 years in jails and a $20,000 fine. Individuals who report in good faith can not get in trouble for doing so. Number 16, court notification. This coordinates between juvenile justice systems and schools, not part of your permanent record. Information can be used in execution for a student's education plan. A student can get in trouble for the acting negatively in his or her or their communities. Risk factors, individuals such as hyperactivity, restlessness, risk-taking, aggression, aggressive natures, early initiation of violence behavior, antisocial personality disorder conduct, and deviant attitudes. Other risk factors include family, such as criminal parents, child abuse, poor family management, lower parental involvement in binding, parental substance abuse, and parent separation. Other risk factors include the school, academic failure, low bonding to school, truancy and dropping out, and frequent school transitions. Peers and community such as disorganized, drugs and guns, adult involved in crimes, violence, racial prejudice, poverty. Peers include delinquent siblings, gang membership, and delinquent friends. Situation one, what if a student makes a threat with the absence of imminent danger? Example, I hate Billy. I'm going to kill that kid after school. As a mandated reporter, one can't turn a blind eye. One must take action. Appropriate response. Do not dismiss this threat as idle talk. Immediately talk with the student. If they refuse to talk and is argumentative, defensive, or continue to express violence, thoughts, and plans, that arrange the immediate evaluation by a qualified mental health professional, such as a school psychologist or a dean. Do not leave them alone. Contact the local persons according to their school safety plan, counselor, parents, principal, and or police if necessary. Situation two, what if a student makes a threat puts that puts everyone in danger and they have a dangerous weapon? This is an emergency. Alert administration and enact your school's emergency response plan. Should this include contacting the police, a school psychologist, local mental health agencies, and parents or guardians? Keep your distance and behind a barrier. Do not be aggressive. Realize that you are not in control of the situation and you must avoid projecting authority. Time is your friend. It can possibly diffuse the situation until police or a school professional psychologist arrives. For more information, please go to the following links below, and thank you for participating in this 2-hour New York State mandated training for S.A.V.E. for New York City and New York State public school teachers, as well as charter school teachers at Touro University.